everybody, and welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. This is Jeanette, and today I will be bringing you square number 237, Kira's Special Stars. And this is one that I designed in order to celebrate my daughter's birthday because she will not be here with us this year. And I just wanted to make something a little special just for her. So I designed this one. I hope you guys enjoy making it. We're going to be doing something that might be new for some of you. These six-sided puffs, they're worked differently than how we normally do puffs. The center one is the way that most people do them. These are a tiny bit trickier, but once you get the hang of them, they're not that hard. I'm hoping you guys go ahead and give it a try. Let us know what you think. And let's go ahead and get started on my daughter's birthday square, number 237, Kira's Special Stars. Alright, so to start this square, we need to make a magic circle and chain one. Okay, chain one. And we need to make 8 puff stitches into the ring. So let me just go ahead and get that a little taller. It helps to keep your puffs the right height if you hold your yarn in place so that it doesn't shrink up on you. These puffs will only have 7 loops. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that should be 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So when we have 7 loops, we yarn over, pull through, and chain 1 to close. And then we will chain 2 and make our next puff. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7. Pull through. Chain 1 to close, chain 2. Go ahead and repeat that until you have 8 puffs and 8 chain 2 spaces. Alright, so here we are with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 puffs and 8 chain 2 spaces, basically one in between each one. So here's my last chain 2. And when we join, we're going to join in the top of the puff, the first puff we made with a slip stitch. And we are going to continue in the same color. So to start the next round, we're going to chain 3, and that is our first double crochet. And into the chain 2 space, we are going to put 2 double crochets. And into the top of our next puff, we are going to put 1 double crochet. So you should have 4. And in this next chain 2 space, we are going to put our first corner, and it's a lot of stitches. So we are going to put 3 double crochets, a chain of 1, and then 3 double crochets. And that is our first, I could grab it, that's our first corner right there. So we're basically going to do the same thing all the way around, where we double crochet in the top of the puff 1 time, and then 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, double crochet into the top of the puff 1 time, And then in the next chain 2, we're going to make our next corner. So that is 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 more double crochets, 2 and 3. So that's what you should have so far. Go ahead and finish that all the way around. We're basically making a square around our center puff. So you're going to double crochet once in the puff, double crochet twice in the chain 2, double crochet once in the puff, and make your next corner. Repeat that again, and I'll meet you back here at our last corner when we're ready to join to the beginning of the square. All right, I've made my last corner, and there is my chain 3. So we just need to join. You can join with a slip stitch or an invisible join. It's up to you. But we need to join into the top of the chain 3, and this would be where we fasten off our yarn. If you want to change colors more often, less often, it's up to you, totally up to you. It's completely fine. I designed it this way so that each flower, or actually these are supposed to be stars, each puffy star is a solid color. And for this one, it's not so much of a problem, but for the next 4 coming up, it is. So I wanted my stars to be all the same. Totally up to you, however you want to do yours. All right, so now we are going to join our next color in any chain 1 space. It really doesn't matter which one you pick. Join with the slip stitch and chain 3 for your first double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet into the next stitch. Now this is a little bit of a complicated stitch. It took me a little bit of practice to get it down, so don't be discouraged, please. It's a little tricky. I am just going to go ahead and do the invisible join because this is going to be seen. Sometimes it doesn't matter to me. Sometimes when the stitches are not all used, it kind of sticks out. So we'll just take care of this real quick. And I'll leave the rest of that in later. All right. So we've double crocheted into the next stitch, and to start the first puff in this 3 puff cluster, we're going to chain 1 and then pull up a long loop, and then not going into the chain but going into the top 2 loops of your double crochet that you just made. You're going to put your puff into those stitches in the double crochet. So let me just count how many I have so far. And they're kind of shrinking on me. So that's what, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more time. This first puff is going to be 7 loops. Now we are not going to yarn over and chain 1 to close. We are going to yarn over, go over to the 3rd double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and into that one we're going to make our next puff. And this one will only have 6 loops. So that's 2, 3, 4. One more time makes 5. I'm sorry, makes 6. So now we have 13 loops on our hook, and we still don't yarn over to close. We yarn over and we count over 3 more double crochets again. So right into this one, and we go in there and we make another puff. Now these two on the bottom, you don't need to pull up quite as high as this one, because these two are the sides coming together to the middle, and this one, actually the sides, the bottom legs, and this one will be going horizontally across. So they don't all need to be the same height, but you need to make sure that they're up high enough that your puffs aren't totally squished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now we have 19 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all 19, hold it really tight right here. I kind of arranged them a little bit, and we chain 1 to close. Now we're going to chain 1 more, pull that one up, not too much, and go not into the chain 1, but into this center ring here. And we're going to make the last puff on this side. So we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This one will be a 7 loop puff. So trying not to let it shrink up on me. Yarn over, pull through, chain 1 to close. And it looks a little sloppy now, and that's okay. It'll fix itself when we do the next round, which will be the top half of our little puffy stars. Okay, so we chained 1 to close. So now we chain 1, and we skip 2 more double crochets and work into the third. So 1, 2, into the third one, right before you chain 1 space. And we put a double crochet in that double crochet. And that is the bottom half of our puffy star. And these 3 right here are the 3 puff cluster. Give it a chance. It doesn't look like much when it's halfway done, but it is very pretty once you complete it. So into the chain 1 space, we're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. We double crochet into the next double crochet right here after the corner, chain 1, and we start this all over again. Pull up our loop, go into the top of the double crochet. There we go. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now remember, this one should be 7, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is 6, and that's 7. Yarn over, count over 3, go into the third one. This one should be 6 loops, so that's 4, that's 5, and that's 6. Yarn over, count over 3, go into that one. So that's what, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, yarn over, pull through all 19, and chain 1 to close. Chain 1, pull up your loop, yarn over, go into the center, make a 7 loop puff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yarn over, go through all, chain 1 to close, and chain 1. And then into one to the third double crochet over the last one before you chain one space. We're going to put our double crochet, and then we make our corner in the chain one space, which is 2 double crochets, chain one, and 2 double crochets, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain one, and continue on like we did on the first 2 sides. Go ahead and finish the last 2 sides, and I'll meet you back here when we're ready to join. Okay, here we are at the end of round 3. We've made all the bottom halves of our puffy stars, and now we're ready to join to the top of the beginning chain 3. So here's our chain 3. We just join with a slip stitch, and I'm continuing with the same yarn because I want my stars all one color. Feel free to do whatever you like to do with your squares. If you do want to change color, this would be where you would do it. So we're going to chain 3. We're going to double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, and make our first puff stitch into the center of the 3 puff cluster that we made in the last round. And this puff is going to be a 7 loop, so that's 2, 4, 5, 6, and that's 7. It's a 7 loop puff. We pull through to close. We pull through and chain 1 to close, and then chain 2 more, yarn over, repeat that in the same spot in the center of the 3 puff cluster. My yarn doesn't want to stay on my hands today. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 7 loops, and I always like to pull them a little bit, make sure they're nice and equal in height. So you pull through all, chain 1 to close, and chain 1. Then we are going to double crochet in these next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 2, and 3. Okay. And then in the chain 1 space, we're going to make a corner. So we work 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. Now working 4 stitches into a chain 1 space, sometimes your corner will cover your first stitch right after you make your corner on that round. So you might have to push these aside a little to find that first stitch. Also depends how thick your yarn is and all of that. So yeah, we need to, after working the corner, work in the next 3 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then we are just going to repeat the process. So we chain 1, yarn over, and we're going to make a puff in that center of the 3 puff cluster from the round before. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6, and this is 7. So 7 loops on your hook. Pull through, chain 1 to close, and chain 2 more, yarn over, and repeat the process. And these tend to look a little funky, especially this part right here. As you're working on them, don't worry about it. You'll see as we keep going, it'll all work out. They look fine once you're done. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just make sure your puffs are the right height. Chain 1 to close, chain 1 more, and double crochet into the next 3 double crochets. So you're going to repeat these steps onto the next 2 sides. I wouldn't mess with these too much right now. I mean, they're not going to look too good until we're practically done, especially since you're dealing with loops of yarn. I mean, it's not too stable right now. So go ahead and repeat onto the other two sides, and I will meet you back here when we are ready to join. Okay, so we're at the end of round 4, and after making your last corner, you're going to double crochet into this last stitch, and your chain 3 should be right next to it. So we're going to go ahead and join in the chain 3. I'm not going to bother with an invisible join this time, simply because we're going to be working into every stitch in the next row, so it won't be seen. So I am going to change colors. If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. You can keep going from there, but this is what you should have at the end of round 4. So it should look something like that. Don't worry too much about how your puffs look yet. As we work into these stitches around them, it'll kind of pull them into place and straighten them out and make everything look good. All right, I'm just trying to find another yarn. Just give me 1 second. And I guess we'll go with red again. There we go. Okay. I'll do the outside in red. Normally I would probably do it in black. My daughter's favorite colors are red, gray, and black, but I know that's not going to be easily seen on screen. So, and if you are changing colors, I like to join in the corner space. I just think it's a easier way to hide where your join is. It doesn't stick out so much. So go ahead and join in the chain 1 corner space if you're changing colors, and chain 3. That will be the first double crochet. So now we are going to double crochet in each of the double crochets. Just tucking everything behind. And this is going to be a little tight. Okay. All right. So we've double crocheted in each double crochet. Now we are going to put or work 2 half double crochets in this chain 1 space. So 2 half double crochets there. We're going to skip the top of the puff, and in this chain 2 space we're going to work 2 single crochets. Then into the next chain 2 space we are going to work 2 half double crochets. And we are doing this so that we can get a nice straight edge on our square, because if you notice, the stars are taller than the double crochets on either side, and that's okay. We just need to adjust for it. So into the double crochet we will work a double crochet, in each one to the corner space. Like that. Then in the chain 1 space, we're going to make our corner, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. Oh. And then double crochet in each double crochet. Make sure you dig this first one out from under those stitches. They like to hide in the corner. We're just going to repeat these stitches all the way around. So double crochet in each double crochet up to the chain 2 space. Then we're going to work 2 half doubles in that chain 2 space, like that. Skip the point of the next puff, and in the next chain 2 space, I keep wanting to do half doubles. In the next chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 single crochets, and in the next chain 2 space, after we skip the next point, we're going to work 2 more half doubles, and then double crochet into each double crochet all the way up to the chain 1 space, and into the chain 1 space we work our next corner, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. So just repeat this all the way around, and I will meet you back when we are ready to join. If it curls up a little bit, don't worry too much about it. As it gets bigger, it will all work itself out. So I'll meet you back when we're ready to join. Now we are at the end of round 5, and I've made my last double crochet in the corner. The first chain 3 is the other part of that half of the corner, I guess you would say. So we're going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the top of our chain 3. And again, I'm not changing color. I keep the same color every 2 rows in this square. So we're up to round 6. It's the last round of the square. So we're going to chain 1. And this round is pretty easy. We just single crochet in every stitch up into the corner spaces. And in the corner spaces, the chain 1 spaces, we're going to make 3 single crochets. So single crochet in the same stitch that you joined in, and in every stitch across. And this helps to firm it up, give it a nice square shape. I personally like single crochets around the outside of my squares. And depending on how you crochet, if you need a bigger stitch, please use it. So if you have to do a half double all the way around, do a half double. It'll still be the same stitch count. You just make it bigger. Okay, so that's single crochets all the way across. I am at my chain 1. We're going to work 3 single crochets into that space. And you're going to have to push them aside to get to that first double crochet, but we continue single crocheting in each stitch all the way around. I will meet you back when we are ready to join to the first single crochet. So don't forget, in your corners you're going to work 3 single crochets. There are no chains on this round. It's all single crochet. All right, I'll meet you back when we're ready to join. All right, we are at the end of the last round of square number 237, Kira's Special Stars. We just need to join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch, and cut our yarn, weave in our ends, and we are done. I hope you guys enjoyed making this square and helping me celebrate my daughter's birthday, who I designed this square for. I hope you guys enjoyed making it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.